What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are ready to go. This is like weird. This is like weird to me. I don't know. I don't know. We got the last RLT trading day of 2024. Woo. Stop it. Stop it. That's wild. And we got a kind of a bearish open. Kind of a little bit of a bearish open. Yep, quad watching. Mm-hmm. Wild. Still kind of fading. We have a big retest gap on the table. We'll see what happens here. Right now, I think we're sitting at a little bit of support. I gotta expand my screen. Yep, and I'm traveling too, so one screen today. I know. We're getting past a bunch of previous support. I think the open is going to be absolute huge mess today. We'll see. But yeah, due to some every option in the world expiring, or the last at least big option day for 2024, I think the first 15 minutes are going to be insane in the market. We will see what happens, but a little bit of a drop so far. I've got my 100 EMA still in line for a target 577. We'll see if we can get a little support there. Otherwise, I do have a kind of right at VPOC. I do have some support. So yeah, support. I would look for like 577.31 for today. If we get some kind of what I'm hoping for is a really overextended selling right out of the gate, and I think we could have an opportunity for some actually going long today. I know that kind of feels weird. Kind of feels weird after the last 2 days, but I I would love to see just an initial drop down to 577. And then I think we could play some reversals today. We have a lot of room. So to I don't even think that's tweezer bottoms. That is a little bit of tweezer bottoms. But we got tweezer bottoms, so that's probably gonna be 586 is a good target for today for the SPY. Real target I have is somewhere around 588, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe we could buy it up from there. Right now, there just seems to be a lot of weakness in the market, but I want that initial huge drop, and then I think we could probably go bullish on the SPY. We do have some support coming in. I don't think we completely died, but it definitely looks like we're in pullback mode for sure. We got Qs. Little supports. I'm also hoping Qs has a pretty big overextended drop today, but we got 509.35 all the way down to 504.43. So that would take us below that 50, but I am looking hopefully at open for option day. We get some mess. I'm probably not even trading the first 15 minutes to be honest. I'm waiting for some overextended moves in either direction. We'll see. If we do get a crazy pop on the Qs, like 5, 17, 15, seems like a pretty good level to me. If we can get up there. To the downside, I want to see us get at least into 504.67. Which just says, yeah. Well, let's think about that, Lucian, for a second. It's a good point. Right now, I'm gonna wait 15 minutes. But as soon as that bell rings, let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. You got some tickers up there too. You're telling somebody's saying TLT. Tim is saying TLT is trying to bounce. Yeah, finally getting a little bit of a bounce. We have a gap to fill. We do have really huge volume on TLT from yesterday. A little bit of a high wave candle. We are getting above that, so some positivity for bonds. I think the option quad witching day overpowers TLT today, but at least they're trying. Free fall. Oxy also getting a little bounce. We got Buffett stepping back in. He's buying more. It's about time, Buffett. Oxy has been on a complete tear, so maybe we get some buying, but bearish markets makes it tough to buy. If you I do think be careful, especially anybody that took my options courses. Be careful selling puts in down markets or pullback markets unless you really would love to get filled. Sell puts when the markets are going higher. Um, if you are selling calls, that's the probably the way to go. We still have, I mean, we didn't get Santa Rally yet. Maybe we don't. We still have some time into Christmas, into the end of the year, things like that. We'll see what happens, but selling calls probably the way to go. Selling puts be very careful. You do have resistance on Oxy up to 46.98, so we'll see if we get above that. But yeah, Buffett did step in. We got some really good volume yesterday. We are above that candle. We have a gap and go. I have no idea how this day is gonna go. I almost want to just punt the entire day till Monday. Kind of. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I really don't want to be too over aggressive today, but that bell's gonna ring, and oof, I don't know. It's gonna change things a little bit. We got Roblox. A little bit of a gap down. That one looks decent. You got some support coming in on Roblox to 56.71. That would take us pretty much into that to the 20 EMA, and then we also have some room into 56.13. So we'll see what happens on that one. But a little bit of a gap to go. Yesterday was a retest as well. So even though it was green candle, I think it probably gets bought up, but I'd see if we get some kind of initial drop into 56.71 on Roblo. What else we got? Carvana, CVNA. And then everybody telling me, everyone's telling me there's a stomach bug going around. I feel like I got a cold too. CVNA. Uh, man, I wanted to short this one yesterday. I didn't. Dang it. You got a pretty good inverted head and shoulders on Carvana. We have neckline probably about here. I got a really good VPOC right about there. That's going to take us into, if we get a crazy retest, I would love to short Carvana 236.61. I know people have been looking at shorting Carvana since like $40. I would take a guess, educated guess, saying we are probably overvalued at all of these levels. You do have a gap fill that's going to take us into 212.02, but I will continue to play short on this one. I would love a bounce first. I don't know if we get it, but would love a little bounce, and I want to buy some puts, to be honest, on Carvana. I would love to get in a little bit higher as well. Hmm. We'll see what happens. Not a crazy gap. Initial spot to look, and again, I would be careful today, but 223.81 would be my like. Maybe we go short. I would love that to break and we go higher, and then come in with some longer term plays on that one. Shopify, SHOP. That one is also a retest gap. That one's still holding support. Let's see how this market opens for Shopify. I do think on quad witching day, a lot of these prices that we see right now probably don't open where the market is suggesting they're going to. I think once this market opens, some of these things are going to be absolutely at different, like completely different pricing. So we'll have to kind of run through it. We almost have to run through a lot of these things again after the bell today. But at least for now, you got a little support on shop. You do have a retest gap. You got targets not too far away, but that would take us back into 106.75. Be careful today. I don't know how else to put it, but be careful today. Lily with a little bit of a gap up. Let's see, did they have news? 4 minutes ago, we got a warning for Lily, even though we are gapping up. Let's see. DJT. That one's moving today. Yeah, FedEx had earnings, so that makes sense. Pretty decent beats. 20%. So, yeah. Novo dropped 20% after a late stage trial of company's obesity drug helped patients lose an average of 22.7% of their body weight. And then a little sympathy on Lilly. Nothing too crazy. But decent gap ago. You are trapping some bears at least on this one. We're right into that 200 EMA on the daily. So I have to be a little concerned with some of that resistance. If again we do actually open where we're suggesting we're opening. If we could open a little bit higher, I really like this gap. Somewhere above 809.05 would take us at least into 823. That's a lot of room. Pretty pretty decent double bottom with a higher low, almost a little inverted head and shoulders. I get the feeling that this one is going to actually drop out of the gate probably to like 796. I also have really good targets into like 782. I kind of want to see this one fade, but if this one jumps above the 200 at any point today, we do have about $14, $15 to the higher side, so we'll watch it. Kind of like that one. MU, that one's gapping down below a lot of support. So as long as this one, again, be careful of where these things actually open. So what I'm saying now might be very, very different when the bell rings. I think the market makers are gonna have a little fun today. Other than that, this one's a decent gap down. If this one opens at 85.75 or actually anywhere below 86.13, I think we have more pressure to the bear side on this one, and this one probably continues. I think we have a little gap down here too. Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if we fill this little gap from February. Did I know this is the last time of 2024 that we're going to be on the mic, but do we really have to go back to the pricing from when we started? I don't know. Apparently. Real targets on this one would take us to $80.38, wiping out the entire year. That's crazy. That is crazy. What's up, Wendy? Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch MU for a short today. Lily, I'd still be careful on, but I got Lily first. MU is number two, PLTR, which has been an absolute beast for the entire 2024. Getting a little gap down. This one I think is a little bit still choppy. I have my $65 cover calls expiring today. What's the odds? What's the odds I have shares on Monday? I don't think so. $8 drop? No, I don't think so. But this one I think this one's still just consolidating a little bit. I kind of like it longer term for a bigger pullback. This is a massive monstrosity of a bearish engulfing candle. We really just kind of came into the 618 retracement, double topped up there, threw in another bearish engulfing candle. I think I don't know about a day trade today, but I think leaning a little bit to longer term bearish for a pullback. I'm not saying this thing is going back to $10, but I think we have good risk to reward to a bear side. We have again a lot of moving averages that's going to hold us up. Other than that, yeah, I don't know about today for a day trade though, but I'd be careful on the long side of things. Godaddy. GDDY. I haven't looked at this one in forever. Um, Gap and go from yesterday, but that's inside candle. I think this is a little bit more of a retest gap. We're opening at some type of support all the way down to like 196.82. I think the very beginning of the day, I'd be looking to go bullish. Longer term, good double top. I think this one probably continues to fade a little bit lower, probably retesting into at least 185.47. You do have a retest gap that never got filled all the way down to 167.54. That's going to take some time to get there. But yeah, longer term, I would be a little bit more cautious to the bull side. Day trade wise, I think we probably retest on this one. See if we get any kind of immediate drop into like 196.60. Let me get this one higher on the list too. I'll try to buy a dip on this one today if I could. If I get it set up. I just need it low, much lower. And I'm only hanging in that for a 1.2. Otherwise, if we get some buying, and it's probably only going to be, and this is going to be a problem. Really good resistance on this one now is 199.61, so that doesn't even give us too much upside to this one. Otherwise, we have you get crazy 203.50, but I don't think we hit that one today. So yeah, give this one to me a little bit lower. We might have some room on it. ET. I love Wendy's picks. ETQUBTIONQ. All right. All right, you little memer. You momentum stock trader, you. ET, I would say, is not doing anything crazy. Inside day, not too much of a change. The only difference, so all of these stocks, and we'll check out the other ones too, but all of these stocks that you gave us, high momentum, retailers love it. Absolute buying every single time a candle turns red and just massive moves. I think some of these moves calm down. I think some of these retail traders are leaning a little bit bearish at this point on in general, not specifically ET, not specifically QUBT. Decent pullback spot. You are probably right around the 50% retracement on a wave count basis. Unfortunately, I think I guess you have a little head and shoulders, a little bit, not picture perfect. I think you probably at least worst case have a 1, 2. No, that can't be your 3. I think maybe this is some kind of consolidation up here. This still might just be 1. If this gets bought up to, I think 3, probably relatively large into this 17.25 zone. I think we end up eventually getting back to here. And I think we're just starting. So we might get held up here. Again, nothing too crazy for today. I don't have a lot of edge on a day trade perspective. I could give this a little bit of head and shoulders up here. Even that left shoulder, not great. Not like I said, not picture perfect. But be careful. I think honestly, be careful of longs. On the narrative in the market is going to dictate a lot. And the narrative in the market set up by the Fed wants me to be really careful bullish. We'll see if the Fed wants to come in or some kind of new narrative. But we even had what was it, PCE numbers today, and they were good. The market liked it. We had a bounce, not a big one. The bears just kind of overpowering everything at this point. QUBT again, a little bit of gap up, still lower region. You do have this. bearish gap and go from yesterday. I think that one's a pretty strong one. Depending on where this one opens, if we're opening anywhere below $15.24, which pre-market right now, we're still hanging out above it. But if we open below there, I think you have this gap fill. Targets down to $10.61. And I don't think the retail traders are exciting or excited as they were before. IONQ, we'll see that one. So yeah, I think momentum on a lot of these huge pumpers probably stop for a while. This one same thing, nothing too crazy yet open. Some support, which we did get to yesterday. We got through it yesterday. Bulls bought it back up, but 37.38. I think eventually we end up hitting at least 33.23 before any signs of really some kind of a bounce. But one, two, three, four really good days. We are just resting, hanging out. Not a lot of edge for day traders, I think, on this one. But I would put some pressure to the bear side. Which one has a divvy, Tim? Oh, ET. 7% divvy. That's strong. TLT. That's telling us that TLT is the long-term bonds. You, I, I don't know if we see 5% 20-year bonds again. I mean, sometime in my lifetime, I'm sure I will, but recently, or like in a short term, I don't know, but like, we can see 4.5, which would mean that the shorter time frame, you'd see kind of jumping too. Um, I think when TLT is coming down, that's giving people who want the in what is it, consistent income. When TLT is coming down, bond rates are going higher. You have almost guaranteed, besides obviously like government shutdowns, which may or may not be in the news today. Uh, Otherwise, those stocks, even though they offer 7% divvy, some of them Coles I think is up to like 14% divvies, things like that. When TLT is going down, you have less risk, even though it might be a smaller percentage, or you might get 5% on some of those bonds. But that's going to put pressure onto all those divvy stocks, all those value names that are just up there and paying because you could get 7%, but if the stock itself is losing value, now you're into a little value trap and you make less than just investing into a treasury. Um, so TLT is one to watch. Just be careful. I mean, if you could get in and then the entire market turns around and starts gapping up, fantastic. Also check free cash flow. I don't know where ET because it's energy. I'm not sure exactly where they get their divvies from. There is some stocks out there, especially in like real estate, uh, that will give you a dividend, but it's not actually dividends. It's more of a like they'll collect rent and then kind of distribute. It's more of a distribution than it is dividend. So I'm not sure if ET is set up the same way as well, which could be based on pricing, but just make sure it's a consistent 7% too. But we will see. Let me see what YouTube has got. Tesla. We got some Tessie on the list. Not a great open. Still inside day from yesterday. Again, we'll see where this one opens in 4 minutes. But I would have liked for a bull case somewhere around 429.87 or higher. We do have one level of support that's going to come in at 420.56. After that, that's going to take us all the way back down to 405.94. So I think there's still some pressure. Again, Inside day candle, you're kind of at the lows. You're not even quite there yet, but I would expect some immediate buying, probably. Watch for 438.29. That should be resistance for today. And that's only if actually first resistance is 430.76. So we would actually have to get through that one first. But yeah, little tighter range for today. I do think momentum in the market. I think we had a big balloon. I don't think we popped balloon. Not just for Tesla, but the market overall. But you know how like you blow up a balloon and you pinch the bottom with your fingers and you slowly release the air and it slowly starts making that weird sound and the balloon starts just fading. I think that's where we're at in the market. I think we are like this could be one great pullback. I know people are trying to buy dips already. I don't know if we have had significant dip yet. And I think we need a narrative to change before I kind of say, all right, let's get the helium pump and let's blow this thing back up. So I'm very, very cautious on going bullish in a short term manner. So we will see what happens on that one. Let's see what else we got on the list. Uh, Starbucks and Novo. Starbucks looks incredibly weak. This is I like it to the short direction. I think we at least come down into this 84.55. We do have a wide open gap eventually down to like 76.71. I don't think I'd be too crazy saying that we could get down to that point. For a day trade though, just be careful on shorting out of the gate. This is a retest gap. We have a lot of sellers. Probably some profit taking first. This one I think gets bid up and then I think longer term the play is to the downside, but short term maybe some buying. NVO, that I have to scroll my screen for. That's never a good. That's a big gap. You are into a little bit of support. If we start to break underneath 78.02, we got next target down to 60. Some support. Other than that, unfortunately, we won't be around next week. Just FYI, if you're trying to tune in and we're not here, that's because we're done until 2025. Other than that, you guys are awesome. I'll catch